Monday, June the 17th. Gang, we are bench pressing. And we've been a little bit back and forth between percentage-based movement or percentage-based formats and ramping formats. And so today we're in ramping mode. And just to give you a heads up as to the future in bench pressing, it's going to be today you get to ramp. Next week, we'll take a percentage of the heaviest one you get to today. And then the following week, we'll be maxing out. So gives you an opportunity sometimes to go all out. Does that mean we're looking today for you to PR? No, definitely not. But what we have format-wise is 3-3-2-2-1-1 that essentially allows field to dictate load. Fathers, we don't know what you were up to yesterday. Everybody, we don't know what you were up to all weekend. You might be feeling really good today, or maybe you're not. Let's find out like where you're at and then push it based on how it feels today. Next week, we'll set an aggressive percentage-based goal. Another thing just to point out, today it's 3-3-2-2-1-1, simply because I know it was probably only me that experienced this, but I saw several of you guys with front squats on Friday do a single that went really well, and then you were like, I'm just going to put a little bit more on and do another one. So people were already doing it, so I figured let's give them that opportunity again today, but it does require a little bit of strategy when it's on there on purpose. So maybe we should have left well enough alone, and then if you went for an extra one, great, but we have it specifically set up for 2 singles today. Feel free to ramp them or feel free to leave them the same. It's really, again, it's going to be a thing where field dictates load. Now, the WOD. It's going to be a hot one. All week it's going to get hot, really. There's not going to be a let up in humidity, heat for the next I think at least 5 to 10 days, and so it's going to be the kind of thing where your hands are going to get pretty sweaty, and we do have toes to bar in the workout today, so I just want to make sure that we are like thinking along the same lines of definitely don't be using tape on your hands, but chalk is going to be necessary at points, or, you know, I always like to say, don't go to the chalk too soon, but you know when it's time, I guess is the best way to say it, and I won't try to like police it any more than that. Make sure you're cleaning up after yourself afterwards, though. Now, into the WOD itself, the intent, all of that stuff. The only reason I'm saying it's hot is because 10 minutes might end up feeling like 20 with a workout like this today, because it's kind of one of those ones where not really anywhere to hide, low enough per round volumes of these movements where, you know, there's one specific bottleneck that might occur, but we're going to encourage that the kettlebell swings not be a bottleneck, so you're intentionally trying to go unbroken in those. And then, you know, I'm not saying we're going to go unbroken on the toes to bar all day, because certainly plenty of us are still working towards that skill, but we don't want the toes to bar to be a thing where, you know, you are trying harder to get the best possible 6 toes to bar every round than you are to just be intense overall. Like, don't let the toes to bar be a bottleneck is what I'm saying. They shouldn't take more than, I don't know, 35, 45 seconds, something like that. And even that would be on the long side of things, because think about it. Someone who's really good at toes to bar is going to hop up and do 6 and be done in probably 10, 15 seconds. So we don't want to take that much longer than that if we're modifying. Even if that means do a couple of really good RX toes to bar and then mix in some toes to whatevers, or maybe you just jump to toes to or knee raises, kipping knee raises, whatever we got to do to make sure that that particular movement keeps on keeping on. Because I'm saying that specifically because the only movement we really want to be a bottleneck today is push-ups. Do we want that to be a bottleneck? No, but 9 per round is an interesting number, right? It's a good test of where we're at with that bench press strength. But it's also a number that could add up in the amount of rounds we're thinking you're going to get today. So I'm somewhere probably between like 6 or 5 to 8 rounds, something like that. I'm saying that because I didn't do it yet, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the push-ups, break them up early and often. Don't let yourself go to failure on those, because it's really tough to get them back. You have to kind of pace them out, and it's hard, and we'll all mess it up. We all do. But you got to do your best. Like, don't let the push-ups go through more than, say, 2 or 3 sets per round, and really have a specific time frame at which you're getting back on them. Like, look at the clock and say, I'll rest for 5 seconds and back on it. Maybe say 10 seconds, but no more than 10 seconds before you get back on it, and this WOD will go swimmingly well for you. Now, it's Father's Day. I'm filming this on Father's Day. I had some stuff to do today with the family and all that, so I didn't get a chance to test this one. Laura didn't either. But we feel pretty strongly about how this one's going to go. You fire breathers out there, look for about 8 rounds. And I just mean people who are going to go basically unbroken and everything the whole time. But really, everyone else, I already mentioned, somewhere between 5 and 8 sounds right for us today. I mean, think about or look at the volume that you will have completed in the amount of time that this WOD is. You know, 10-minute workout, say you get 5 rounds, that's 60 kettlebell swings, right? That's 45 push-ups, that's whatever, 30 toes to bar. That could be a lot on a hot day where we were already lifting pretty heavy. So wrote in the notes, like, give this one the respect it deserves, take it very seriously, think of it as a very intense workout on an intense Monday, and that 10 minutes will feel like 20, and you'll be laying down when this one's over. That's what we think. All right, enjoy.